Y'all ready to be history?
Get started.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
To the Pro Audio Suite.
These guys are professional. They're motivated.
With Tech to the VO stars. George Whittam, founder of Source Elements. Robert Marshall, international audio engineer. Darren Robbo Robertson. And global voice. Andrew Peters. Thanks to Tribooth. Austrian Audio. Making passion heard. Source Elements. George the Tech Whittam. And Robbo and AP's international demos. To find out more about us, check theproaudiosuite.com.
Line up, ladies!
Here we go.
And welcome to another Pro Audio Suite, thanks to Austrian Audio, making passion heard. And hopefully we'll be wearing their T-shirts very soon. We must email them and say, give me an OC818 T-shirt, they look cool.
At least a pair of socks, right?
That's really funny. The fact that Sennheiser were handing out socks for people with very long, skinny feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe they kind of thought, well, if you forgot your pop guard, it might be a way to save you.
That's right.
Yeah. Smell your toes while you do your read.
Yeah.
Get you to read
Use for the
quicker.
cheesy reads. Yeah. Speaking of cheesy reads, we've got AI squared. The full circle of AI. What happened, Robert?
I had a gig to mix a little corporate video. And funny enough, the corporate video was about the corporation's adoption and rules of adoption of AI and what they were going to do and all of this. And they did a very good job recording it. And so it needed a lot of cleanup. And, at first did the usual thing. And I thought, this is pretty far gone. I'll try voice regen. It kind of struck me as funny in a sort of meta kind of way because it was a video about how we're going to embrace AI and what the rules of engagement for AI are. Mm-hmm. And here's AI fixing your video about AI. It's like a mech. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, I used it recently too. I did a corporate video for a massive, shall we call it, international client, right? Who should really have the money, but they didn't have a soundo on location, so it was recording two guys talking. It was a corporate video, recording two guys talking, and they put lapels on them. But for some reason, rather than recording the lapels, they recorded off the camera mic. Yeah, and it was awful. It was terrible. And like you, they rang me and said, "Look, we don't really have a budget for sound on this, but we're going to have to find some money. Can we pay you to fix this?" And I went, "Well, send it over and I'll have a listen." And I stuck it into Pro Tools and sort of went, "Oh shit!" And then as I was about to draft the email, going, "Look, I don't think I can do much more than you guys can do," it struck me I should chuck this in ReGen. So I did, and sure enough, they found the money to pay me to fix their audio. But it was, and
it keeps the video sync pretty good.
It does. It's not too bad. I had to sort of play with it a little bit.
A few things, but yes.
A few things to fit it in. It's actually, that was the other thing I was going to say, was it's actually quite good. Because I was going, that'll be the caveat on this is I'll stick it in there and it'll come back. It'll be all out of whack.
Well, you'd have to use another piece of AI to put it back into time.
That's right, to squeeze it back into time. Yeah. But it wasn't bad. And so using a few little tricks, I was able to sort of get it back into place. But yes, you're right, though. It didn't sound...
It makes it too perfect.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yeah. It's like nicely close on mic and sounding beautiful when they're in a room and clearly not on a mic and all that.
But it's very handy because I often get things sent to me from my daughter, of course, saying, "Oh, can you run this through ReGen for an audition?" Because she's recorded in a bedroom or something in Melbourne. So it does come in very, very handy.
You know what I reckon is going to be interesting, right, is I've noticed now when I get AI to generate a picture for me for my social media, it's watermarking it especially on LinkedIn. It puts a little circle thing up in the top left-hand corner of the photo. And when you click on it, it says this image may be generated by AI. And I kind of wonder, what's the audio version of that? How do we do that? How do we sort of go?
I have gone through this rabbit hole because we've I don't know, we might have to scrub this whole thing, but basically, people doing meetings, review and approval, and there's a possibility that something leaks. And so when something leaks, they want to know who leaked it.
Yeah.
And so I've gone through the full rabbit hole of how to watermark audio. And the reality is that it's in the audio band, right? Because in this version of things, we wanted to survive being played out as speaker and back into a microphone. So yeah, it's playing with psychoacoustics and what people can and can't hear, and embedding, and it's also a really tough game because it's like, how little audio do you want to be able to identify your watermark? The less audio you have, the more obvious the watermark is. But the more time you have, you can bury it more subtly and still give enough redundancy for the data of your watermark to be still retrievable.
So it's got to be more like audio, like a dog whistle.
Something like that.
Well, yeah, but that's really easily defeated, right? So if you stick it in the very, very, very high end,
you just stick a
easily
filter
lopped
across
off.
It. That's right, exactly.
Right. And then in the very, very low end, the problem is the frequencies are so low that it takes so long to put any data in there because the low frequencies technically don't carry a lot of data.
Yeah, and the cycles are so long. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And also you can lop off the low end. So really it's like if you wanted to survive a speaker, you got to put it smack in the middle. So, you can do all kinds of things I was playing with, but, follow the envelope and figure out how to hide in plain sight, essentially, is what it is.
Do you think, and this is really radical, don't get me wrong, but do you think the whole audio standard has to change? So instead of just left-right channel, do you think we need a left-right-center channel, and the center channel contains the metadata?
Well, I think a couple things. First of all, the watermark that you guys were seeing, it was a visible watermark. Everyone knew it was watermarked. You can just watermark it being like, this was made by AI, and say that every 10 seconds. And that's a blatant, obvious watermark that people can hear. The other aspect of watermarking something is to make it so that you cannot see it. You can actually, but in the easiest sense, the way they watermarked your picture in AI, just there it is. You can see it with the naked eye, just like you could just put in, this has been watermarked over the top of your audio. And but if you want it to be stealthy and unknown, that's a whole nother thing. There's ways of putting data inside the picture that again, like you see the picture for what it is, but if you run it through whatever decoder, it can find the watermark in the pixels. And same thing, you can stuff an audio code in audio that you as a person would not pick up on it, but if you have the right decoder, it can find that little bit of data that you've stuffed in it. So yeah, but funny enough, like a little side thing, do you know where watermark in the paper? Someone realized that before the paper dried, if anything was sitting on the wet paper, then when the paper dried, if you put the paper in the light, you could still see the outline of the thing that was sitting on the paper when it was wet. And so that's how paper makers began to stamp their paper with their brand. They would let it dry, and you put up the light and say, "Oh, this is came from whatever mill, this mill, that mill."
Yeah, all right.
What about this? Is another thing. If you had a one-off password, so if you received a voice, but it was unusable, and then you have a one-off password that actually converts that file into proper audio.
Mm-hmm. And now that I have the proper audio, I can send it off as a WAV file to everybody. Right? Yeah. How do you put something in there so embedded in it that it can't be gotten rid of without destroying the audio itself?
That's the problem.
Basically.
Yeah. Let's check with AI and see what we can come up with.
You know what? That's probably what it will take, though, right? Ironically, that's where it will come from.
DRM, digital rights management, is more of a
digital version of that. I mean, I remember back in the day, to track commercials, we used to have to watermark a commercial, and then some company would be they would just be scanning all the airwaves to track if the commercial's played. And there was just so the commercial itself was watermarked, and then they would find their watermark and go like, yeah, it played or it didn't play. It's been going on for a while. I think it's just been getting more sophisticated, because if you feel that it's going into an environment where something, and you think about like the Apple iTunes things, here's your file. And they really can't stop somebody from, ripping it, especially through an analog pass. Then boom, And if they do anything too much, they're going to harm the music. It will be audible at some point.
That was more my point, right? And more than the sort of stopping theft of voice and all that sort of stuff. My interesting point my point, I'm not saying my point was necessarily interesting, but the point I found interesting was that AI, that they're now on LinkedIn, they're sort of going, well, they're just flagging stuff as AI, right? They're sort of going, listen, just so you know, this isn't a real photo. This is AI'd. And it's interesting because we had an example here of a couple of radio stations who've been using an AI voice to read their news without telling anybody, right?
Yep.
And the backlash has been huge.
Yep.
As it should be, right? And fair enough too. But I kind of, that's my point is how do we do that? And it's sort of probably a similar system to what's going to take to protect a voice, I suppose.
But interestingly, with those AI voices on radio, it wasn't the fact that they were AI voices that people got offended by. It was the fact that there was no disclosure that they were AI voices.
And that's the thing, right? I mean,
I think everybody would be okay if AI voices were disclosed. And there's one of two ways to disclose them. A, make it, just like sound like it, and then no one has to wonder. But yeah, I think that, when you make images, I made a funny image with AI. The fish, the bass.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about one of our politicians here, and then I was thinking about a thing that comes out your butt, and
bass turd.
The bass turd. Yep.
One day we have to do an episode on how your brain works, Robert. Seriously.
The scary thing is, I think I know how it works.
Quite disgusting, but my brain works well enough that AI followed it perfectly, and. But when I got my image back, boom, it was watermarked.
Wow.
From the AI company I used to generate the image. And I think that's fine. I don't care.
But Robert, did you remain undeterred by that?
It did. Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yes.
Dear.
AI. Anyway, I'm glad the ReGen worked, because I do actually like it. I think it's get out of jail if nothing else works.
Well, I guess he's now got Robert and me as well. But I mean, I would put my name to it. Yeah, it's not my first method, and certainly probably not my preferred method. Sorry, Gomez. But as an absolute last line of we must do something.
When it's so far gone, at least in my situation, when it's so far gone that it's like if you're going for something that's forensics and you have to pick the words out of it, but it doesn't sound very good. That's one thing, or you have to use the noise reduction. But at a certain point, when it's really far gone, that they screwed up by not recording the right camera. It's not noise reduction; it's all of it reduction. It's room reduction, and that's why ReGen is such a good, term for it. Because literally, back in the day, it would have been, let's redo this, let's ADR it,
you have to
reperform
sync it.
it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and so it's really like. It's for those cases where it's not like, a little bit of hiss, or because the AI noise reduction, clarity, etc., has certainly gotten good enough that it can knock a lot of stuff straight really easily. And when it's too far gone, you have to just, in a sense, scrap it and have it be reperformed, and then you have this, and it's interesting if there's a middle ground between the two where it could be sold.
Yeah. But I think, for like voice talent, I think it's very handy if you're for auditions. I wouldn't use it for an actual session, of course.
Oh, God, no, please don't.
Yeah. But if you're doing an audition and it's like, I've got to get this thing in now, because I get people sending me stuff saying, I don't care, do it on your phone, just send it in. It's like, yeah, but the trouble is you do it on your phone, it gets sent in, and that immediately the person listening to it, whether they consciously make a decision or not, they'll hear it and go, that sounds like
subconsciously, it puts you in a different place.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you just go, that's shit. And then someone's recorded properly, and then you have your phone next to it. Who's going to win?
That's right. I know. I don't disagree with you at all.
And particularly when they're doing like,
that's why they always
couple of
do
seconds,
it. They never give
a couple of seconds,
I think for auditions, it's totally legit. Like, I mean, you could be in the middle of the zoo with chimpanzees and everything, and you could basically record that, and it could clean it up. Yeah.
This sounds like a normal session to me.
Maybe I should sell myself as AI voice cleaning up, because God knows I've cleaned you up from a train and wherever
It's
else
no
you've been
longer
on
fun.
this fucking podcast. Robbo ReGen, I'll call it, or something.
No, we call it RoboGen.
Robert
RoboGen.
It's like back in the day, it really did. Like, I took hours off your life.
Gomez has given you your life back, Robbo.
Thank you, Gomez.
Well, that was fun. Is it over?
The Pro Audio Suite, with thanks to Tribooth and Austrian Audio. Recorded using Source Connect. Edited by Andrew Peters and mixed by Robbo. Got your own audio issues? Just ask Robbo.com. With tech support from George the Tech Whittam. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and join in the conversation on our Facebook group. To leave a comment, suggest a topic, or just say g'day, drop us a note at our website, proaudiosuite.com.